Now listen, 2025 has been a phenomenal year when it comes to anime, games, and films that have been released thus far. But we're not even halfway through the year, let alone at December, and there's still a mind-boggling amount of stuff to be released. And it got me thinking to myself, let's do something a little bit different than you guys are accustomed to on the channel. And that would be top 10 things that I am most excited for the rest of 2025. So without further ado, let's get started. To start it off, I kind of broken down this list into categories. My first category I want to hit on is anime, TV shows / films. Coming in hot with the first one in that category is Star Wars Visions. Now listen, my relationship with Star Wars has been so up and down recently. I mean, first Lucasfilm gives me Ahsoka, which I'm like, okay. And then you give me Obi-Wan, and I'm like, okay. And then you give me the Acolyte, and I'm like, okay. And you know, for me, I think I'm kind of fatigued with the Skywalker saga. It just seems like in a galaxy far, far away, we tend to come back to this same family tree and their families adjacent. I mean, like, it's called Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like, the war is affecting multiple planets and galaxies, and these characters seem to be recurring. I get that they're fan favorites. You know, things like the Old Republic cinematics and this show here is so refreshing because we know nothing about these characters, at least the general public. And for me as a fan, if you tell me anime and Star Wars had a baby, I'm saying yes to that 10 times out of 10. There's so many shorts that are done by Japanese studios in this series where I would want a full-blown series with these characters. And I'm thinking to myself, my favorite short that I've seen comes from season 2. It's called The Journey to Darkhead. Oh, please check that out. That's done by Studio Mir, the same studio behind The Legend of Korra. You can think what you will about Legend of Korra, but the animation and the team behind the storytelling, I think you can put something in their hands where it will gravitate to maybe a different side of the fan base or even bring in new fans for the series to consume. I think it's something Star Wars desperately needs right now. They need to pivot a little bit, and I think this show, or any type of show that takes a different directions from the Skywalker saga, is a good move. So I think this is definitely going to be on a lot of people's radar, and as it should be. So that's going to come in for my first selection on the list, Star Wars Visions. Coming in at number 2 is Virgin Punk. Now, if you guys remember, I did do a reaction to this trailer on the channel last year, and this was announced last year at Aniplex Online Fest. Now, one name that keeps being spammed in the comments over and over again is the director of the Kite film. I believe that was released in 1988, around that time. But yeah, his name was thrown around a lot, and looking at that film, I haven't seen the actual film, but like just going through and doing some research on it, the character looks damn near identical to the main character in this film. If you're gonna go check out Kite, it's mature, definitely mature. So, you know, just go in with that warning. You might, you know, come out with some trauma. But yeah, the character looks so identical to the character that's going to be in this film. Her name is Ubu. She's a bounty hunter. We're gonna be following her in the year of 2029. And the concepts and designs are designed by the director, Yasumi Utsumi. I'm probably, you know, butchering that name. But going back to that trailer, I love cyberpunk, and having that blend with anime, it's just anything in that aesthetic, in that type of world, I am so down for. I'm not sure if this is a film or a series, because all the reading that I've done, it says it's a film series. So is it going to be one of those instances where the series is going to debut in theaters for a theatrical release, releasing the first 3 episodes, or is it actually going to be a film series where this is the first film? Because I'm looking at the title, it says Virgin Punk, but it also has like a subtitle that says The Clockwork Girl. So is that going to be the first installment to multiple films? I would love for them to go that approach, because Demon Slayer is doing the same thing to cap off their series. They're doing 3 movies for the Infinity Castle. And just looking at what I saw in the trailer, this quality is incredible. It's A1. You know what I mean? So I've seen a lot of series who start off with high quality, but they have such a drop off after the initial episodes. It's almost like the entire budget was spent just to draw you in. But we'll see. If anybody has more information about how they're going to debut this series, I would love to know. Put it down in the comments. But this is coming in at number 2, which is going to be Virgin Punk, releasing this year. Coming in at number 3 on the list is Love, Death, and Robots Volume 4. Now, I did a reaction to the trailer marathon, I believe last week now, and I got a lot of love and support on that. Thank you guys so much for that. But I did talk about this series a little bit in that video, and if I didn't sell you on that before, please allow me to redeem myself now. This show is such a celebration of animation, bringing together so many studios across the world, like studios from France, studios from Japan, Germany as well. I mean, like, there's so many different creative voices in the production, and creativity just translates across across the world. You know what I mean? Like, that's their language, is creativity, and they give so many different shorts in this series that I think you can come away with liking a little bit of something of everything. Aside from the different studios that are involved, there's so many genres that is vast in this show. It goes from fantasy, sci-fi, horror. There's dark comedy. I mean, cyberpunk. Netflix is the perfect place for a series like this to land, because there's no studio head coming in and saying, oh wait, it's too much blood, or hey, that's a cover that up, or look, we're no, don't show any sex. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't happen in this show. And I think David Fincher being the executive producer, that should tell you something right there. And Tim Miller being the creator, I mean, he put it very perfectly, and it really should be the motto of the show is kids. And I love that. This is such a cool premise, and I love that we have this in the industry now. So I do implore you guys, please, to go check out volume 1 through 3. You know, the episodes are like 10 to 20 minutes long. I guarantee you there will be something that you would like, because some people don't like the 2D animation, and some people prefer cell animation, or most people prefer, like, you know, performance capture animation. That might be a big sell for a lot of people as well, because there are prominent actors and voice actors in this series. I mean, Michael B. Jordan's in the short, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Topher Grace. I mean, like, the talent on this series is abundance. There's no short of it. Before it releases, there's so many shorts that you can go check out. This newest one, volume 4, is going to be releasing May 18th, I believe. Yeah, so I'm definitely excited for that. So that's going to cap off this category of the list, Love, Death, and Robots volume 4. Moving on to the next category on the list, it is going to be video games. Now, if I can tell you anything about my gaming preferences, is that I love running through multiple hordes of enemies and taking them down in the most kung fu stylistic way. And this first game that's on the list kind of fits that to a T. It's called Spine. Now, I saw this trailer and I thought to myself, am I watching some type of futuristic sci-fi sequel to the game Sifu, just with guns? You're telling me I get to have close quarter combat with gun fu? Sign me up. Now, the developers have stated that they look towards the John Wick film series and the John Woo action movies as main inspiration for the game. It kind of serves as a baseline, going back to that Hung Koo cinema action feel, which is definitely music to my ears. And the narrative follows a rebellious street artist named Redline, and she's accompanied by her combat implant that's attached to her spine, you know, hence the name of the game, Spine, as she's going up against AI regime trying to free her brother from this aristocrat in the world too. Now, any type of anti-AI agenda, I am totally down for. There's also a 9-episode short comic, I believe, that's been released or is going to be released, that serves as the prelude of the game, which I think is kind of brilliant marketing. I love that type of promotion, and I can't wait to read it. But this is going to come in on number 1 on number 2 category of my list for video games. Spine, I believe, is releasing sometime this year, and that's not a specific date out yet, but I am all for it and I can't wait for it. Moving on to number 2 in the video game category, it's going to be from a studio that I love and is very dear to my heart. And it's going to be Sucker Punch, coming out with Ghost of Yotei in October of this year. Now, listen, Sucker Punch, I love you, but where's my infamous sequel? Now, I'll give you guys a pass. I hear Ghost of Tsushima was fire, which I did not get the chance to play. My initial plan was to play Tsushima and then go into Yotei, because I thought it was going to be some sort of connective storytelling between the two, but I hear that's not the case. I hear they're disconnected by a few centuries in between, so that kind of blew my plans out the water. But I hear there is a similar theme, which is going to be vengeance, which I definitely love. I mean, they say you should turn the other cheek, but I'd rather turn my blade on your neck. Because revenge is such a great motivator for a main character, and it's really compelling for a story as well. I mean, it can lead that character down a pathway of destruction. You know, it's really a balancing act between what's right and what's wrong on your path to achieve your revenge. You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword in a way. You know, it can end up isolating you from your allies and having you commit certain acts at the expense of your morals. I mean, there's tons of examples. Most notably, I guess in recent memory, is going to be Ellie from The Last of Us. So I love this type of storytelling, and it follows a new protagonist in this ghost story whose family has been slain by 12 Onis, or I think they're called Onis, and they're 12 Ronins, and they pinned her to a tree, a burning tree at that, with a sword, and she's hunting them down with the same sword that she was pinned with. I mean, oh, come on. Yeah, I'm definitely so. So I think that Sucker Punch are masterful storytellers. This is in well-placed hands. I can't wait to play the first Ghost, and I'm kind of going to be spoiled a little bit because I'm going from that phenomenal game I hear to this game. Oh yeah, this is going to be such a treat for me when this game drops. Yeah, this is going to be great from Sucker Punch. I'm still waiting for my infamous sequel. I haven't forgotten. Number 3 in the video game category on the list is going to be Marvel 1943, Rise of Hydra. Now, this was announced in October of 2021 and is scheduled for release sometime around Christmas this year. Now, based on, you know, the previous video game entries on this list, you guys can probably surmise or kind of gauge what kind of games I'm into. You know, the narrative-driven, third-person, action-adventure type of games. And this game is going to be set in occupied Paris in World War II, following Steve Rogers, you know, as we know as Captain America, and the Black Panther of that time, Shuri is his name, as they form an uneasy alliance to take down the rise of Hydra. Now, there's not much as far as detail for gameplay about the game that I have seen personally. All that I've seen that's making this round on the internet is the cinematic between Captain America and Black Panther. Let me just tell you, the dialogue between those two, boy oh boy, yeah, they're about to go to blows the way those guys were talking on that bridge, man. And I wonder if it's going to be, you know, you pick your hero and you just go with that hero remainder of the story. I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to switch between it, but are you going to be able to choose which pathway or which side you agree with the most? And I think it's kind of a smart pairing between Captain America and Black Panther because they're kind of similar in combat styles. I mean, like, you can do similar things with the combat gameplay, but still have it distinctly different in their styles of combat. You know, Black Panther is a more feral fighter and Captain America leans more on the boxing side. You can definitely do some dynamic things and creative things with that shield as well. But as far as like grounded action, this is probably a smart pairing to have. I haven't seen the gameplay for it. I'm pretty excited for when it does come out. I think it's gonna be a hit. Yeah. There's some excitement about this game. Let me know if you guys are excited about it. If you have more details, I can look into it. But yeah, that's gonna be number 3 on the list for my video game category. This next category is a bit of a vague, weird one because it is a list of things that have been teased and that's been put out there but no further development, and I affectionately call this category the blue balls category. Oh boy, it's going to be really hard to talk about these particular projects in this category because I just don't know if they're going to come into fruition. So let's just go ahead and get started. What if I told you that an artist from the Spider-Verse films, that artist being Yuki Dimmers, and director Patrick Harpin walked into Warner Brothers and pitched an animated featured film, a feature film starring Batman Beyond? And what if I told you that they said they could never do a Batman Beyond film, but to WB's credit, they said to never turn into a maybe. Now, just picture that, a Batman Beyond film in the perspective of the Spider-Verse lens. How this does not happen? I don't understand how Terry McGinnis has been so prominent in DC fandom. Like, people love Batman Beyond. Why hasn't he had some type of major release? And he's been over in numerous DC animated films that people don't see, that just go to directly to digital, you know what I mean? But I think this is like the perfect time for Terry McGinnis to get some shine, man. An Asian American in futuristic new Gotham. I just don't understand why hasn't this happened yet. There is some concept art that's going around for the film and it's catching some traction. I'm not sure if there's a petition for it, you know, going around as well, saying, hey, let's make this film happen. But the artist, Yuki Dimmers, and the director, they're trying to pitch their way up to James Gunn. Hopefully it'll happen, but like I said, you know, that is just something that I've been wanting for a very long time. Ever since he released the concept art, I'm like, how is this not a slam dunk? How is this not a green light? You know what I mean? Like, if the fans have to fund it, can we do that? Can we at least do that? That's number one on the blue balls list. Okay, so this one is most likely to happen before the previous entry, and that is the Hell arc from Bleach. Now, I'm not sure if you guys know this, but ever since that one-shot chapter that released 5 years ago now, I want to say, there seems to be some type of swell of Bleach content in the following years. I mean, you got the anime returning with multiple seasons. I believe the final part of the Thousand Year Blood War arc is going to be releasing this year. There's the Rebirth of Souls game that came out as well this year. And even there's some moments in the final arc of the anime that kind of suggest, or at least make reference to, the Hell arc. You know what I mean? Like, there's a conversation between Captain Yukitaka and Captain Unohana before their death saying, we will see each other soon. We can only infer that they're talking about meeting up in Hell. You know what I mean? And even like there's some anime only moments which kind of suggests that we're going a little bit further than the ending that was originally planned for Bleach. They showed the original Gotei 13 in the anime, like the first captains. And as we know, there was some exposition given in that one-shot chapter about captains being sent to Hell. Like, are they going to be, I don't know, like guards in Hell if we ever revisit it? Are they going to be like some final antagonists for our main stage characters of Bleach right now? I don't know. Like there seemed to be a lot of teasing for the Hell arc, and I want him to take his time, but like this teasing has got me thinking, it's got me theory crafting. And if we get a situation where the first Gotei 13 captains going up against the current captains and the Bleach characters we have now in Hell, with maybe some, you know, returning characters like Ulquiorra, like some of the Espada, maybe they've been sent to Hell. I don't know. Hopefully the fans manifesting that Kubo finally releases some type of announcement that he's continuing on with the Hell arc would be so great to hear. So that's going to be number 2 on my blue balls list. Coming down to the home stretch and the final 2. First one up of those 2 is going to be Fate Strange Fake. I am at a complete befuddlement, if you will. What is the holdup with this series? I don't understand. Like, the first episode was released as part of, I think, like an anniversary or a special late last year in November. I think that was like episode 0. And then they officially released episode 1, if I'm not mistaken, in January of this year. And after that, it's been dead silence. I've refreshed Crunchyroll a million times. I check it almost every week to see if an episode drops. I'm not sure if there's trouble with the production, but to leave us off like that, I mean, the entrance of the character Saber, the new Saber, talk about presence. The guy has so much aura, and to come in like that and end the episode like that and then leave us salivating for what's going to happen next. I know there's a novel that's out there right now for the series, and I'm pretty sure the Fate fans have already read it and knows what the series is going to entail. But I mean, come on, like, you set the stage so beautifully in that episode with new characters and returning characters like Archer and the new Saber, and you got new masters. I go to the website, man, and I love the character visuals too. Like, the art is phenomenal, and I love what I'm seeing so far. But I'm just wondering, is there trouble behind the scenes? Like, what's going on, man? Come on. Yeah, so I have this on my blue balls list. It's just another one of the things that I'm hoping to materialize before the year is over with. It would be crazy if they have one episode at the beginning of the year and don't have a second episode until the start of next year, if that. But like, I just want some type of announcement to let me know what can I expect in the future. I don't know if you guys feel the same, but yeah, let me know if you have any info about what's happening with Fate series, because I'm definitely locked in on that one. But that's going to be the next installment on the blue balls list. Coming down to the last thing on my top 10 most anticipated list for 2025. I wanted to end it off with a bang. And boy, oh boy, this is one. It comes from Insomniac. It is Marvel's Wolverine. Look, Insomniac did a bang up job with the Spider-Man PS4, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, and now they're turning their attention to the man who does what he does best, Wolverine. The OG short king, Mr. Snick, the violent Canadian. Oh my gosh, come on. As of yet, not much is known about the story details, but we have learned that it's going to be in the same universe as the Spider-Man game. So this is kind of like their own connective universe like the MCU. This is the MGU, Earth 1048, the original story that they did for Spider-Man. I can't wait to see when they get their hands on X-Men characters and like Wolverine legacy characters. Oh wow. And not to mention just the designs for the characters themselves. Did you guys see what they did with the Spider-Man costume? Like with the white spider logo on the chest, and then like he has like shoes. I mean, that could be a shoe on itself. One of my hopes for this game is that they give these X-Men characters some badass costume designs. They're gonna redesign it, and I have complete faith in it after what I saw with the Spider-Man designs. I hope they really lean into the mature aspect of the Wolverine character. You know, he's a little bit more hard-edged than, you know, Peter Parker. One of the best Wolverine games out there, the cinematic that they had released for that game was pretty brutal. I'm talking about blown up faces and stabs through the head and the skull. It was pretty violent, and I'm hoping that they take a little bit of aspiration from that game, because unfortunately there was a leak for the studio. A lot of employees had their information doxed and whatnot, and it's truly unfortunate situation. And I have seen the leaks, I'm not gonna lie. I have seen the leaks, and they were pretty promising. I saw multiple characters that are playable. I think I saw Psylocke and Jean Grey, but the story seems to be coming together, and we do have some updates from the development of the game. They said they're still hard at work for it. They're not trying to rush anything. After the leak, it seems like there was some bit of a setbacks, which is understandable coming from a situation like that. But hopefully we will get some type of announcement. I think it was slated to release sometime this year. But if not, you know, I do want them to take their time with it. No rush involved. I mean, like, I think they earned some goodwill from the fans with their previous games that they've released. But it is still slated for 2025. If it doesn't come out this year, I'm hoping that at least sometime around December, when the Game Awards come around, it'll be some type of announcement, or at least a trailer at the very least, to hold us over into the game's release. But that is definitely on my anticipated list, on the blue balls list, because I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not this year. So this is kind of my way of materializing it into existence. But yeah, that is going to do it for my top 10 things that I'm excited for 2025. Now listen, I might be sleeping on some things. Maybe you guys can put me on game on what I should be looking forward to, or something that's not on my radar. I'm open to it all, man. It's just going to be an exciting year for anime, games, films, you name it, for this geek culture that we have and we love so much. That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for making it through this entire list. If you made it to the end, you're a real one. Catch you in the next time. Love ya. Bye.